What's going on, Swab? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer Podcast.
The Wake Up with the Wolf podcast. Welcome to another show.
And I know it's been a long time since we've done a podcast together, but Cole's been way too fucking busy and he hasn't made time for me.
Yeah. True. I am actually the busier person. If we look at each other's calendars and we break it down, I definitely have more shit on my calendar daily. And I just don't have time for Brian anymore. That's exactly it.
Guys, in today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest things that you are doing in your mindset that are sabotaging your success. And I don't even like talking about the word self-sabotage. And like I haven't said that word out of my mouth probably in the last like 2 to 3 years. Because I'm not a bitch.
Thank you.
I just do it.
And we had a conversation about this recently. We did a big content shoot, myself and my media team. And they asked me about self-sabotage, and my breakdown was very simple. If you are the one self-diagnosing self-sabotage, you are actively just choosing to tell the world that you don't care about your goals and you're a little fucking softy. Mm-hmm. Period. If someone else diagnoses your self-sabotage, like, dude, why are you doing this? It literally goes against your goals. It goes against what you want to achieve. It goes against everything coming out of your mouth. That's a different story because you're not recognizing behavior because it's subconscious, which is what self-sabotage is. If it's conscious self-sabotage,
like,
you're just a bitch.
I self-sabotage all the time.
I want to lose weight, but I just keep somehow getting in my car, driving 20 minutes to the store, going to the store, getting the food off the shelf, putting it on the counter, buying it, coming home, and eating it. I don't get it. Like that's not subconscious self-sabotage. It's you acting like a fucking child. Bro.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. Like, I want to stop drinking, but I just pick up the bottle, pour it in the cup, sit down on my couch, turn on my show, and just drink. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. I don't understand, bro.
Fuck. You make me laugh.
It's a weird mentality. So we had that conversation recently, and I think it's the reason why people use that word so much is because it gives them a conscious way to cop out of the goals that they want to achieve.
Well, it's because going after the goals that you want to achieve is fucking difficult.
Yes, it is.
And so you're going after the things that you want, and it gets challenging and it gets hard, and you think that you're going to fail, or you think that it's not going to work, or you think that you're going to fall short. And so what you do to save face is you self-sabotage. Because if you self-sabotage, then you can go look at yourself in the mirror and be like, well, yeah, I could have been really successful if I just stuck to the diet and ate the food I was supposed to eat. I could have been really successful if I just made the post that I was supposed to make.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, it's easier to cop out with self-sabotage because then you don't have to look at yourself in the mirror and like realize that you failed.
Yeah. Self-sabotage has become a key word, a buzzword in the industry, in social media, in life nowadays, because it gives people something to cop out to. It gives people a crutch to lean onto, because then they can blame something else for why they didn't achieve their goals instead of recognizing that they were the problem in the first place.
And like, listen, guys, this is a hard wake up call, because if you're listening to this and you identify with self-sabotage, unless you remove that fucking word from your vocabulary and you literally just never speak it into existence and you identify and address all the things associated with it, you will continue to live a life that you never play up to your potential. And you always hit a ceiling. Like, you'll be working towards building your business, trying to hit 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month. And as soon as you come against a barrier where there's a little bit of resistance, you will fall victim to one of these 5 things that we're going to talk about in today's podcast, and you will never be successful. So today we're going to remove self-sabotage from people's vocabulary.
Yeah, no more.
Remove.
Stop saying it. Stop identifying with it. Stop utilizing it as your crutch. Stop letting it be the reason why you don't see success.
So the number one mistake that people make when it comes to self-sabotage is not voicing your opinions to avoid criticism from others. Not voicing your opinions to avoid criticism from others. And people think this is like self-sabotage, and they classify this as self-sabotage. And I think that this actually stems from people are just afraid of what other people are going to think of them.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I've done fucking so many videos on this, and we've had conversations around this. A lot of people are terrified to be themselves because they are afraid of what other people think. But Dan Martell did a video on this recently, and I giggled because I'm like, I've done this shit as well before. Broke people stay broke because they are afraid of what other broke people think. All right? Fat people stay fat because they're afraid of what other fat people think. It's individuals like to put themselves in a box and stay exactly where they are, because as soon as they start to speak their mind or do things out of alignment with what the other people like them think, they get criticized. But the question I pose to them is, why would you want to stay the same as the other people that you don't like when you don't like yourself? It's just this weird conscious, subconscious behavior that individuals lean into. I think if people were able to disconnect from the opinions of others, which usually stems from their incessant need to be liked or heard or accepted from their parents, then they'd be able to achieve their goals.
And it's so interesting because I think that there's there's really two forms of judgment that you should be aware of. It's like the judgment that you're going to get from other people and like your friends, your family members, your coworkers, other fat people, other broke people, whatever, your wife telling you that you're working too much, whatever the fuck it is. Or there's the judgment that you face when you look in the mirror. And there's the judgment that you face when you know you should be working on your business and you should be pursuing your goals. You should be doing more content. You should be like executing. But every single time you look at yourself, you know you're not doing it. And then that's where that like inner critic starts to kick in and you start like judging yourself because you're not doing it. But you're also not doing it because you don't want to be judged by others. And it's like, it's no matter what, there's judgment.
Yeah.
No matter what. And I think that so many people are afraid of judgment, so they never actually push themselves. But if you don't do the thing that gets you close to your goals, then you're just going to judge yourself and deal with that self-judgment anyways, which is what most people do their entire lives.
Yeah, spending any time being afraid of judgment from the outside world is a stupid waste of time because no matter what, you're going to be judged. You're
No
going to
matter
be
what.
judged for remaining the same and then not doing what you were supposed to do to change, or you're going to be judged for taking action to try to change because people are going to be like, why aren't you okay with being the same?
It's so fucked up because I remember, you remember when we were running Aesthetic Nation and we did this like, it even happens now. So when we were running Aesthetic Nation and we did this like charity event and we did this like, we raised a bunch of money for kids and we raised like $10,000 for like Spin for Kids. And we were like advertising it. People were like, oh my God, like the only reason you're raising money is so that you can post about it on social media. And we're like, okay, every year we give back to the homeless. We post about it online. Oh, if you really cared about the homeless, you wouldn't post about it online. Like even when you do something good,
Yeah.
like even when you're doing something good, people are going to judge you.
And it's like, this is the thing. We can all see it from the other side and the other perspective. Even if we break it down to the simplistic ways, we could talk about the giving back. I get why some people are annoyed that we are posting it online, giving it back, because in subconscious or in the back of their mind, they're like, well, if you actually cared, you'd just do it. We do. That's the thing that people don't see. Like we give back all year. You only see the one time of the year because we would like to raise awareness to the individuals in our city that the homeless pandemic is a real fucking thing. It's insane how many homeless are in Kelowna. Now, nobody sees the tens of thousands of dollars in clothing and shoes and food that I give back throughout the year. They just see the one day. Why? Because I want to make you aware of it. And then they judge the one day. Now, again, we could see why people get judgmental on that because they don't want it to be on social media or for clout. But the problem is usually due to the fact, and I spoke about this the other day in a video, everything that you see on social media is an act of defense in some way. So that comment, that attack, that criticism that you are getting from either friends or family or random strangers that you don't know is them attacking a mirror of themselves, defending what they believe in their own heart. So they see you doing something when it comes to giving back or raising money for charity, and they're like, that's fucking stupid. Why would you ever post about that? But as soon as we ask them, like, when's the last time you gave back? Well, you don't know my situation. I'm struggling myself. Okay. Then why are you even talking about it? Like, then shut the fuck up. But again, it's just this weird, people care way too much about what other people think in all areas of life. How they dress, how they act, how they move, what car they drive, what house they live in. It's this weird popularity contest that people never got out of since high school.
Yeah, and it never ends.
No, never, dude.
It never
It's insane.
It never ends.
It only gets more intense, the more successful you get, too.
I agree.
Like, we've
It never
seen
ends.
some pretty fucking good success. We've achieved a lot in our lives. When it comes down to like the flexing that we do on social media compared to some of the people that we know, it's astronomically different. Like it's not even at the same fucking level. And whenever I have conversations with those people, they're like, well, what do you mean, bro? Like I got all this stuff so I could show it everywhere and break it down. And I'm like, yeah, but who are you? Like what's the, like you're chasing the validation.
Yeah.
And it's just this popularity contest that never ends.
Yeah. So if you are holding yourself back because you are afraid of other people judging you, you'll stay there your whole fucking life because the fear of judgment is never going to go away and people are always going to judge you.
Always, no matter what you do, no matter how you are, no matter how you act.
Yeah. Which leads us to number 2. I want to tell you a story about this. So I had I had one of our clients come up on Conversations with B recently. It's a call we do in the $1 Million Mastermind. And he was like talking and he's like, man, he's like, my lead flow is really slowed down. And I was like, okay, like what's going on? He's like, well, I used to have a content style that performed really well. And then, people just started getting in my ear about it, how like, they don't think I should be doing that type of content style, and they don't think it was like professional, and they were like talking shit. He's like, and it really got in my head. So I've been really changing up my content style because I just want to be more professional. And I was like, okay. I was like, who fucking gave you that advice? He's like, oh, well, like my mom and my dad. I was like, okay. And then I was like, I, curious, and I'm like, and I mean absolutely no offense by this. How much money do your mom and dad make per year? He's like, well, like my dad makes like 80K, my mom makes like 60K. I was like, okay, good. Like, so do you think they understand how to build like $1 million a year business? He's like, no. I was like, why the fuck are you taking advice from them?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
So like, I think the number two is the second reason people sabotage, and he was literally sabotaging his content strategy that was going viral, signing clients, and having him to have record-breaking month because of something that his parents said. And I'm like, number two, the biggest reason, one of the biggest things that people do to self-sabotage is they need other people's support in order to go after their goals. So like, oh, my parents, they said I didn't look professional, and they're not really supporting that content style. So I want to make sure I stay professional. As soon as he did that, income cut in half.
Yeah.
Comes to me, he's like, bro, my fucking business. I'm like, of course your business is on fire. You're asking for support from people that have no fucking idea how content creation works.
Yeah.
They have no understanding of how to go viral, and you're taking their advice and trying to get their support when they don't fucking get it because they're not doing it.
Yeah, it's a concept that will never make sense to me. People looking for, it's a little bit of validation, but the support is a big part of the word. And we've had conversations on this so many times in the past. Looking for support and guidance from people who have no fucking idea about what you want to achieve and have never achieved what you want to achieve is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
Like, why? I understand that it's lonely and stressful and overwhelming to do it yourself. Then go find other people that are like-minded to you. We have conversations with our clients about this. We're like, why should you come to an event? They're like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, do you have any friends that are doing what you're doing in your city that understand why you're grinding on your computer 10 hours a day? No. Do you have any family members that are entrepreneurs that are trying to do this shit on a daily basis? No. Okay, well, you're in a call with 70 people right now, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what are they trying to do? Well, the same thing as me. So you probably should come to the fucking event because all these people understand you.
Yeah.
Right? It's if you don't have any people around you that understand what you want to achieve, understand the grind, understand the hardships, want or have done what you've done, find other people. It doesn't mean you got to say fuck you to all your family and friends that you have around you right now, but don't look to them for support and guidance when they have no idea what it takes to do it. I will never ask my family what I should do with my stress levels based off of how stressed I am and what it takes to run an 8-figure business, because none of them have created a 6-figure business. None of them have a fucking business. So that the advice would not correlate. It would not be it would not help my situation.
Dude, and I'm just gonna say this bluntly, like I did it by myself for the first like 2 years. I didn't have anybody.
Yep.
I was like fucking me and myself. And I literally just had this idea in my head of like what type of life I wanted to create. And yes, it was lonely. And yes, it was fucking difficult. But I knew that if I could go through that lonely path, that like walk that path by myself when nobody else was by my side, I knew that if I could go through that and I just stayed consistent, eventually I would make it. And I tried to make friends with people that were like doing bigger things than me and more successful, but I always felt like an imposter. Like I didn't feel like I belonged with them because I was like just recovering from an addiction and trying to become a new person. But I was also in this middle phase where like I didn't really fully know who I was on the other side of like letting go of that. So when I'd hang out with these people, I'd feel like I just didn't belong. So even though I tried, I just felt lonely. So all I did was fucking grind for 2 years by myself, posting 7 days a week, fucking going live 5 times a week. That's all I did. Was just work.
Yeah.
And I think that so many people need to get support or like recognition from outside sources when you just like, if you actually have a dream that matters to you, that like is important to you, all you need to do is stay focused on it for an extended period of time and not get fucking distracted and continue to put in the reps every single day and not let any of your emotions get in the way, and eventually you'll get success.
And that's going to take an extremely large amount of grit and resilience, because what you guys just heard, an extended period of time and you will see success. That extended period of time might be a year or might be a decade. And you need to be willing to go through it until you see success, not until you feel like you should achieve success. And that's the difference between people. People will grind for 6 months to a year to 2 years to 3 years and be like, I've been putting so much effort in and nothing's worked yet. Okay. What do you want to do? Go back to be an employee?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go work for somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to quit on this dream? Or, no, this is my passion. Well, then shut the fuck up and get back to work.
Mm-hmm.
You're not deserving of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is deserving of the millionaire life. Nobody is deserving of the 1% life. Like, you are not expected to get it just because you put a little bit of work in.
Mm.
You need to earn it, and it's earned through blood, sweat, and tears.
Mm.
If you are not willing to put in that fucking sweat equity, then you don't deserve the life itself.
But like the funny thing about that is that the extended period of time never actually ends.
That's what I mean.
Like we're still in that.
That's exactly it.
Like you have goals, dreams, and ambitions that you are still working towards that are not on this year's timeline. They're on an extended, timeline.
I will have not achieved my goals till probably after fucking 60. Because I'm like, I have like death goals.
Yeah.
Like me and you have goals that we have set and we've only told each other.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I will never achieve them until I'm almost dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the point. It's literally to like extend it all the way to the end of my fucking life and then push it over the edge. So when I'm gone, everything comes into fruition.
But the difference between what you guys are hearing and what you guys operate based off of is what you're hearing is that like we don't count the reps ever. That's number one. And number two, like our timeline and horizon is unlimited. And number three, we have each other, which is amazing, but we would do it by ourselves if we needed to.
Yeah, we would.
We would. You know, like that's the difference.
Well, we can even prove it. You guys literally just heard about Brian grinding. The 2 years he's talking about is before I came into your life.
Yep.
Before I became a partner on his team and a trainer on his team. What he didn't know, what I didn't know, because we didn't fucking know each other, is that for a year to a year and a half before I met him, I was doing the same thing by myself in a construction company. I had quit Percocets, went cold turkey, cut off all my friends, no surroundings, no dating apps, no women, and all I fucking did was work, gym, sleep, do it again. And it was because I hated my life. I hated the people I was around. I didn't want to be that person anymore. So I went through my own lonely chapter. I was by my fucking self. I didn't have anybody to rely on, anybody that I could commit to. That was the breakdown. Like, you guys need to be willing to do it by yourself. Fuck your mom, your dad, and everybody else around you. You do not need them being like, it's okay, honey, you're doing a great job. Mm-hmm. Because their validation, and this is where Gary Vee talks about this, and I think it's such a good important point to touch on.
Yeah.
You need to be willing to cast out the negative noise as well as the positive noise. Mm-hmm. The negative noise and the positive noise are the same. It is just noise. You need to be willing to work extremely hard for a prolonged period of time, regardless of what feedback you are getting. Mm-hmm. Because it's just validation from people who have no idea what it's like to live in your shoes. So who gives a fuck? Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if they say you're doing a great job or a shitty job. Who cares? Are you comfortable with who you see in the mirror when you go to bed at night? Based off of the effort that you put in. The answer is yes, good fucking job. The answer is no, work harder the next day.
I like that. Leads us to our next point. I want to ask you a question about this. What's your opinion on people that work hard to achieve a certain level of success, and then, you know, because maybe they started out in the struggle, or they started out when it was hard, or they started out when they were broke, they get to a certain level of success, and then as soon as they get to that level of success, they're like, oh, I made it, and they take their foot off the gas.
I feel like me and you are gonna have different opinions on this.
I'd love to hear yours.
See, like, I'm fine with it. The only reason why is because that means that I can win more. like I don't really have like a drastic opinion when it comes down to people who reach a certain level of success and then take their foot off the gas, because like I'm just not built like that. That's not me. Mm-hmm. I don't have a mindset like that. Like, you know, my goals, they're fucking stupid. Yeah. Like, and I say they're stupid because like I'm talking about trying to live forever, when it's the most asinine fucking goal in the world, bro. Like let's be, Marcus Aurelius like had to do so much to live forever. Like, all these Romans needed to kill millions of people so their name could live on forever. Like, that's literally one of my goals, is to be remembered forever. Like, all these crazy things. I know some people just don't have that fucking mindset. Yeah. So I'm like, if you're comfortable just grinding so you can get your neck above water and then take your foot off the gas, then by all means do your thing. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't look down on you a little bit. And I'm not even trying to be rude when I say that. I'm not even trying to be a dick. It's just, I know you're meant for more. Like, everybody needs to understand that the goals aren't just like at the end of the road. Yeah. Like, just because you made it to the end of the road doesn't mean you don't have an entire fucking country to walk through.
Yeah, yeah.
Most people just are like, I'm good. And if that's you, dope. We need people at the bottom too, dog. Like,
Okay, so
I'm not.
so that's point number 3. Starting and stopping.
Yeah, bro.
Starting and stopping. Anyone listening to this podcast right now could be so fucking successful.
That's what I mean.
That they would literally change the name, their generational name, and what it means to be a Mark or De Silva.
100%, dude.
Anyone.
Anybody, bro.
Anyone listening to this podcast. But the reason that 99% of people never do it is because they start out in the struggle. They're like, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to fucking get sober. I'm going to build this business. And then as soon as they taste a little bit of success, they're like, oh, that is the sense of relief that I need to just give myself a little bit of a break because I deserve it. I'm going to go to the pantry and I'm going to get some fucking cookies. I'm going to fucking take the night off and I'm going to watch some Netflix. I'm going to stop posting as much because I've been grinding so hard on social media and I just hit 10K. So I'm going to take a little bit of a social media break and a little bit of a detox. I'm going to take a fucking backseat because I give up as soon as I no longer need to apply resistance. It's like people are working so hard to get to a place where they no longer need to work. And because they get to that place where they no longer need to work, they end up taking their foot off the gas and they lose the momentum that got them started in the first place. And then everybody just gets into this fucking cycle. I'm gaining momentum. Okay, I'm good. I can take my foot off the gas. I'm going to take a break. Losing momentum. Holy fuck, I'm going broke. I need to start working hard again. Okay, fuck, I feel good again. Oh, I can relax. Boom, doom.
Yeah.
And we know that because we've worked with some clients for 5 years.
Bro.
And their income hasn't grown. And I'm like, bro, you are in the fucking same goddamn cycle you were in when you first started.
It's actually
called starting and stopping.
It's fucked, bro. And that's the thing. I'm like, I'm going to touch on one thing. We watch Netflix all the time. Right? But we're also rich. So I'm not, and like our income's growing. Like we watch Netflix and enjoy our lives while we are on the elevator up.
I have a question for you though. What time do you get up every morning?
3 a.m.
I get up at 4:30.
Yes.
Every fucking day.
And you know when I watch Netflix though? 9
p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
After everything is done and
exactly.
the kids go to bed. And that's where I'm like, I wanted to touch on that
shift.
because some people are going to be like, fuck you guys. You guys watch shows. Yes, we do. But the thing is that our foot is still on the gas pedal while we're watching shows. Like we're not taking it off and then taking a step back. You said something that like it's almost like borderline Cole's no-no list, like blackout mode of like I'm going to take a social media break. Fuck you. Okay? Like if you build your whole life on social media and you're like, I need a break from social media, please go fuck yourself. Like grow up. Okay? That means you have no idea how to self-regulate emotions. I need to take a break from social media, even though all of my income's made from it. Fuck you.
I think don't even get me started.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing ever. Yeah. But what Brian's breaking down, I do feel like is a very important point because again, like to each their own. If you want to take your foot off the gas, then by all means go ahead. But what I will say is people who grind and completely transform their life because they weren't okay with their past life and they want to better their future, but then they take their foot off the gas and they taste success are selfish. Now, again, it's okay to be selfish if it's only you. Like if you never want a partner, you never want kids, you never want to better your family's life, then by all means, take your foot off the gas, do whatever the fuck you want, fuck me, fuck Brian, and fuck whoever else tries to tell you to do anything different. Do your thing. But if you got a family, bro, like if your mom's still struggling, if your dad's still struggling, if your wife wants a better life, if you got children coming into this world, you don't get to take your foot off the gas.
I agree.
And that's where like as a dad, you're about to be a fucking dad. Well, technically
you
a fucking
are.
Biological dad. You're already a stepdad. I'm like, dude, there's no part of me and again, it's such a weird mindset, but there's no part of me that would deem it acceptable for me to be like, yeah, I'm done.
I hear you.
Because, dude, I'm trying to set up Cade for life.
Yeah.
Like the new baby coming for life. And I don't believe in this traditional successful, there's another total rant we can go on in another podcast, of this like, I'm not going to leave shit for my kids. Are you fucking retarded?
I agree.
Are you fucking... Dude, when I hear entrepreneurs say that, I want to punch them in the face. So, okay, so dope. You grew up struggling your entire fucking life. Struggled so bad that you were about to be homeless. Then you built this amazing life. And now that you have money and you're successful, you're just going to tell your kids to go fuck themselves? What the fuck, dude? What was the point?
Yeah.
You might as well just stay broke, right? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
so yeah, I just don't get it. Like, if you have anybody worth grinding for, taking your foot off the gas to me makes no sense. You should fucking drill that thing with metal screws into the ground so it can never come up again.
I would rather die
Yeah.
than let my grandma down.
Well, see-
I would rather die than let Kirsten down. I would rather die than let you down. Like I would rather die.
Yeah,
that
straight
sounds
up.
that sounds intense.
It's supposed to be intense.
But that's the truth.
That's
and,
the mindset.
I would rather die. And like the only time, bro, and this is the truth. You know this about me. The only time that I actually I'm like, holy fuck, I need to take a day off is when I've worked so fucking hard that my brain literally stops working. And I'm like, I need to decompress for 24 hours. But it's not like I need to take 2 weeks off to go fucking hang out in Mexico because I need to like reconnect with my spirit guides. It's like, I need to take 24 hours off because my brain no longer fucking functions and I need to wait until it functions again so I can get back to work.
Yes.
That's the fucking mindset.
Yes.
And it's like starting and stopping doesn't fucking exist.
It doesn't
work. In our reality. Like in mine and Cole's reality, we don't start and stop.
No.
We're a 24/7 company. Okay?
We are.
I'll fucking text Cole at 8 p.m. on a Saturday. I'm like, hey, I know this is a really annoying time and I know you're hanging out with your family, but da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'll text Cole, I'll text fucking Nick at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. Hey, I know this is super fucking annoying, but we need to film at 3 p.m.
Yeah, Daniel.
He's like, go fuck yourself. I'm like, I know, but I'll see you at 3.
We're literally all filming this weekend on Sunday because I can finally film now.
There we go.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
There we go, Daniel.
It's in your calendar.
There he is.
Check your calendar.
Check your calendar, Daniel. We don't
It's in your
start.
calendar
We don't
already.
start and stop.
Been there
We
for 3
don't
days.
start and stop.
Yeah,
all right.
been there for
We
3
don't
days.
start.
It's
We
been,
don't
it's
start
been in
and
your
stop,
calendar
Daniel.
for 3 days.
We don't start and stop.
Check your
Daniel.
calendar, bro.
Moving on.
Check your calendar.
Moving
Daniel
on.
Kevin 1 at gmail.com, bro.
Daniel
So
Kevin
this is
on.
the breakdown, bro.
Yeah.
It's like we
don't
grind our asses off.
We don't start and stop.
Want to see success, you got to fucking put the
We
work
don't
in when
start and
nobody else
stop.
will. That's the mentality.
All right. So this is fun. I like this. Let's do this more often. Only if Daniel and Nick are here so we can razz them. That's fucking great. Okay. So number 4, I think this one's going to hit home for you, is a lot of entrepreneurs. So let's just pretend you don't fuck with any of the stuff we just mentioned. You're like, I'm consistent no matter what. I don't care what people think about me. I know I stay consistent with my momentum, but I've got a lot of shit that I've held on to that I haven't let go. And so anytime my mom texts me, I get fucking super heated or I get super mad, or my kid yells and I fucking trip out because I have trauma that I haven't dealt with in the past, or my girlfriend says something weird and I associate it with the girlfriend that cheated on me in the past. And as a result of my unresolved anger and trauma that I haven't let go, I self-sabotage because I ruin things that are beautiful because I haven't fixed myself. So not letting go of the anger that's in your heart. How do you feel about that?
I believe that as a man, you are not allowed to allow your bullshit to spill over into other people's lives. Period. I don't care what happened to you. I don't care what is going on in your life. I don't care what happened to you when you were a kid, what you're currently struggling with right now. If you have internal demons that you have not dealt with, that's fine. You're just not allowed those demons to hurt other people. So deal with it however you need to deal with it. Whether it's going through something physical, whether it's dealing with it in therapy, deal with your shit. You're an adult. When you were a kid and shitty things happen to you, it's 100% okay to allow those things to alter your life as a child.
Yep.
And when you're a kid, you're allowed to use those things as an excuse not to move forward. As soon as you have to pay your own bills and work a job to be able to sustain your life, as soon as you have other people relying on you, it is not okay anymore. Grow up. And dude, I've dealt with it. I went to therapy. I realized that I have a control issue. As soon as I felt out of control, I lost control. My temper would flare and I'd lash. Why? Because it was putting me back into the stage of the helpless kid who didn't have control in his life. So when I was able to identify that, I was able to identify other areas of my life where I started to lose control. My temper would flare, and then I'd be able to adjust my attitude or remove myself from the situation to be able to navigate through it. I don't let my bullshit spill into you or Daniel or Nick or Julia or Kate or anybody else. Because it's not your responsibility. You got other shit going on. Now, obviously, you can talk to the people around you and utilize their support, but don't be a fucking child. Deal with your shit.
And like, this isn't just, I fuck with all of that. This isn't just the anger that you feel towards other people. This is also the anger that you feel towards yourself.
Energy is contagious.
Because like for me, it was like my biggest thing that I needed to get over with my anger was when I like let go of like this drug addict version of me. Like when I moved past that, I still fucking hated myself for probably 6 years afterwards. Like I hated that I fucked people over. I hated that I stole from people. I hated that I stole money out of my grandpa's wallet. I hated that I like got my car repossessed. I hated that I got kicked out of my friend's house. I hated that I let all my friends down. And I hated myself for all those things. And so as I started to get more successful and as I started to make more money, this like internal voice started kicking in, being like, you don't deserve this shit. You don't fucking deserve this shit. Why the fuck do you deserve this shit? You fucked up here, you fucked up here, you fucked up here, you fucked up here. And like, I would just remind myself, and then I would get into this place where I was constantly thinking about all the things that I fucked up on.
Yeah.
And then I would do something fucking stupid. Like I'd go out and I'd get wasted.
Yeah.
Or I'd fucking lie to Kirsten's face. Or I'd fucking lash out at Kirsten and leave the house. And I wasn't doing that because she was doing something wrong. I was doing that because I hadn't dealt with my own shit. And my own shit, my own anger was causing me to do things that were quote unquote self-sabotage.
Yeah, I understand the mentality of bury it deep down and then focus on the shit that you need to do. Why? Because even though people say that that's unhealthy, I still do it to today. Why? Because I'm a grown-ass man and people rely on me. And if I allow my emotions and all the things that I am dealing with daily affect how I show up, I'm an irresponsible man. I'm not a good father, not a good husband, not a good business owner, not a good friend. But that doesn't mean me burying shit down is an excuse for me to allow those things to then make me act irrationally in different situations. I'm choosing to not let that thing become a problem. And then I'm going to deal with it in my own way. Whether it's working it out on a boxing bag, going to therapy and having that honest conversation, or picking the right time, the proper time to have the individual conversation with the person that I need to speak to. The right time for me so I can have it consciously and not in a erratic mode, or the right time for them so they can accept what I am saying and be able to move forward. A lot of people don't know how to do that either. Mm-hmm. They're like, I feel a certain way, so I'm just gonna have the conversation whenever it's necessary for me. And they're like, why did my partner accept it? Well, your partner didn't accept it because it was 9 p.m. at night and they had a very stressful day, and then you're like, listen here, fuckhead. And then you lost your mind and now they're pissed at you. Like, you need to be willing and understanding around other people's emotions and your own. Deal with your shit. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in allowing your shit to pour on other people. It doesn't make sense to me.
You know, it's funny, that leads us perfectly to number 5. The fifth thing that people do to sabotage their success, and you talk about this all the time, is allowing your negative thoughts to shape your life.
Mm-hmm. Your attitude shapes your life. Life doesn't shape your attitude. Mm-hmm. Period. And why? If you can wake up in a bad mood for no reason, that means you can be in a good mood for no reason. Mm-hmm. Attitude shapes life. Life doesn't shape your attitude. I don't care if someone cuts you off in traffic and you spilt your coffee and it burns your leg. Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're allowed to be addicted to your boss later or your girl or anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you crash your car and it's going to cost you money doesn't mean you're allowed to be an asshole to anybody else. Too many people allow life to dictate their attitude, and then they become pessimistic, negative pieces of shit on a daily basis.
And the thing about the pessimism, this is the funny thing about being negative, is when you are negative, like when you're inherently negative, you will look for reasons to become more negative.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will justify your negativity with all the reasons that you see in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh, like, yeah, of course I'm negative. My boss fucking said this. And then this person fucking cut me off. And then did you see somebody keyed my fucking car?
Yeah, bro.
Do you see that? And then this person cut me off in traffic. What a fucking dick. Yeah. And then you just walk around with this like, it's like, for me, it's like, even though all of those things might be true.
Yeah.
Your boss might be a dick. You might have got cut off in traffic. Somebody might have keyed your car. You might have smashed your phone. Girlfriend might have broke up with you. All those things might be true. Complaining about it, talking about it, ruminating on it, sitting with it, thinking about it, it might be true, but it's not useful.
Dude, it's the what's it called? The bullshit, cheesy sayings that people don't want to look into are the things that people should operate their lives around. Like, what you focus on expands. Mm-hmm. Everybody who is currently driving right now listening to this podcast, I want you to do this safely, but be conscious of what you look at and how your hand moves on the steering wheel. All right, when you were taught how to drive, this is how I was taught when I was a country kid in the past. They literally said, if you're going to look out the window, you need to have both hands on the wheel on either side. And then I need you to sporadically check forward. Why? Because as a person, while you are turning, and you guys can literally do this while you're driving today, while you're turning, just allow your eyes to track something. As soon as your head, chin hits shoulder, your left hand will start coming up. Same thing when you turn the other way. It's automatic. Your body moves in the direction of your eyes. What you focus on expands. That's what comes into your life more. Yeah. The same exercise is going, everybody close your eyes for 10 seconds. Dope. Now open your eyes and tell me what's red in the room. You only have 5 seconds to do it. People are going to be like, I don't really know what's there. Okay, dope. Now spend 30 seconds and scan the room that you're in. How many things are yellow around you? Mm-hmm. They're going to look around. They're going to pick absolutely everything. Dope. Now close your eyes. Tell me how many yellow things. People will be like 15. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you took time to actually look at it. Yeah. What you focus on expands. A lot of people live in negativity and then wonder why they're living a negative life. Mm-hmm. They live in negativity and then wonder why they don't catch a break. Mm-hmm. Bro, catch a break must be easy. All right, easier said than done. Oh, you got lucky. All of those sayings are for broke people. Mm-hmm. Why can't you catch a break? Because you are not deserving of one.
Yeah.
Why can't you catch a break? Because every time you open your mouth, the universe and people around you want you to close it because all they hear is bullshit.
Yeah. And like this is the thing about running a business and being successful is as you run a business and be successful, you are going to run into a lot of shit that is going to piss you off. You're going to run into a lot of stressful situations and a lot of things that could bring your mood down. And many business owners use that as a reason to stay in the stressed out / negative state because they're like, well, client canceled. This client wants a refund. This client said no to me on the phone, and they just start noticing.
Lost this deal. They said
start
no.
noticing. They just
I
start
can't grow
noticing,
anymore.
and then it's almost like you want to have a business that does $50,000 a month, but then as soon as all the things that start happening with the business that does $50,000 a month start happening, you're like, holy fuck, like this is so hard. This is so like what you fucking asked for it.
Yeah.
Like you asked for it. Like you wanted a $50,000 a month business. Like
Yeah.
how can you say it's so hard when you literally fucking asked for it?
Yeah.
That's like wanting to be shredded and then complaining about the fact that you need to be in a fucking deficit.
But people do that.
I know.
Right? Or it's
You
like wanting-
fucking asked for it.
Or it's like wanting to be in a fucking relationship but then complaining that you don't get a lot of alone time because you're living in the house with the person. No shit. That's what you chose to do. Like a lot of people wish for lives that they don't understand.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm always saying, like, when you set a goal, it needs to be internally what you said. It needs to be from your heart because you don't know what you're committing to. You need to understand that there is always a dark and light side of the goal life that you are trying to achieve. There's going to be a dark version that you didn't understand that you're going to have to come to terms with and learn how to overcome. And then there's going to be the bright green grass light side that you saw that you were chasing. They go hand in hand. There cannot be light without darkness. There cannot be darkness without light. It's just how it is.
Yep.
People need to understand that they come hand in hand and they're going to go in unison. So if you want the great life, understand how to navigate through the darkness.
So guys, let's summarize. We've got the 5 biggest mistakes that will sabotage your success. Number 1, not speaking your mind to avoid judgment. Number 2, needing other people to support your goals. Number 3, starting and stopping. For fuck's sakes, stop doing that. Number 4, holding anger in your heart towards yourself or other people. And number 5, allowing negative thoughts to dictate your reality. Now, listen, if you're listening to this podcast right now, then you understand how important mindset is for your success. Otherwise, you wouldn't be fucking listening. All right. Now, we are looking to work with entrepreneurs, business owners that are looking to dial in their mindset. Cole and I have taken ourselves from rock bottom, absolutely nothing, and we've built our company into an 8-figure company. Yep. Not only that, we've also built another company, Aesthetic Nation Gym, into a 7-figure company. So we've got 2 companies over 7 figures. We want to teach you the mindset, the strategy behind the mindset, and we want to give you some practical things that you can do on a day-to-day basis to level up your mindset so it becomes unstoppable. You're either your own best friend or your own worst enemy. So if you're ready to become your own best friend, we would like to tell you a little bit about the Champs Inner Circle Mindset Coaching Program that we are currently launching.
Super excited about it. So it is a 12-week program. We made it 12 weeks specifically because we want to basically run you through this as quickly as we possibly can, while also giving you enough time to maximize each strategy to see success mentally, emotionally, physically, and maybe financially in your life. Throughout the 12 weeks, you're going to get a weekly call with Brian and myself. A group of other people are going to be there as well that you can mastermind with and break down different strategies with as well. And it's going to walk you through all the strategies we've taken to overcome self-sabotage, overcome imposter syndrome, overcome negative toxic habits that crashed our success into the ground and broke us mentally. Again, when Brian says from rock bottom to where we are now, drug addicts, no success, no money, no family, nothing, to where we are. The goal over the 12 weeks is to take those things and download them into your brain. Stop you from making excuses to hold yourself back and hopefully maybe turn you into that one person that Brian talked about earlier that could transform the family's lineage.
Now, do not fucking apply for this coaching program unless you're prepared to put in the work.
Yeah, bro.
This is not for people that are like, oh, this sounds really cool. I'm looking for people that are actually fucking serious that want to transform their life. In the last mindset coaching program, there was one of our clients that was struggling because he was in a toxic relationship. On one of the mindset coaching calls with us, it was week 6, he was talking about how this person was dragging him down and how he really wanted to leave, how he really wanted to move. On that coaching call, we literally made him leave the house, go rent a U-Haul, pack his shit, and move to a different city. Yeah. And we did not end that call until he was in the U-Haul. So this is not for somebody that's like, oh, I think it'd be really cool to transform my life. This mindset coaching program is for the people that know that their mindset is getting in the way. They know they have things in their life that are holding them back, and they're prepared to let those things go so they can step into the power and become the person that they are supposed to become. So if you are interested in joining the mindset coaching program, you can DM me or Cole the word champion on Instagram. This is going to be one of the last days to apply for the coaching program. After this, enrollment's closing. We're starting next week. So if you want to join the Mindset Coaching Program, you can DM me at The Real Brian Mark, the word champion on Instagram, or you can DM Cole at Cole Lewis da Silva, the word champion on Instagram, and we can have a conversation about the Mindset Coaching Program.
Let's go. If you're coachable, ready to transform, and actually want to take this shit seriously, meaning you're going to have to invest in yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, then take action now.
Peace!
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.